North Ridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today's date, Monday, April the 5th, 2021. Please rise for the invocation of the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, this evening we come to you in prayer as we ask for your guidance and leadership to take our city to the next level. We also pray for our safety forces as well as our military. As always, Lord, thank you for all you've done. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Swain.
Here.
Booth.
Here.
Avens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Molesky.
Here.
DeVries.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Service Director.
Here.
Law Director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Auditor.
Here.
Clerk of Council. Here.
Tonight before you, you see the City Council meeting minutes of March the 15th, 2021. Are there any changes or corrections?
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
I had just one correction on page 6, under T 38, 2021. In my comments, the 6th line currently reads, the amount of the grant, North Ridgeville will make a sizable donation. That should actually say North Ridgeville Rotary Club will make a sizable donation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Booth. That'll be noted in the minutes. Are there any other changes or corrections? Hearing none, those minutes are approved as submitted. We also have the public hearing meeting minutes of March the 15th, 2021 regarding T 27-2021. Are there any changes or corrections? Hearing none, those minutes are approved. We also have the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals meeting minutes of March 25th, 2021. That will bring us to our lobby session. At this time, we will open up our lines so that people can join us. Again, this is something we've been doing for a while, allowing people to join us in our meetings. For instructions on how to do so, you can contact City Hall or go to our website, enridgeville.org, and there's instructions on there. Again, you can also prepare your comments ahead of time and email them to any of the council or the clerk of council, and we will read them. And that'll give you the opportunity to address the mayor's administration as well as members of city council. At this time, we will pause and I will turn to the assistant clerk and ask if there's anybody in the lobby session.
No comments at this time.
All right. We will pause for 30 seconds to see if anybody joins us in the lobby session to join our meeting. Okay, and one more time, we'll see if there's anybody in the lobby session waiting to join our meeting.
We have visitors, but no one has made a comment at this time.
Very good. We thank everybody for joining us to watch the meeting. At this time, we will move forward to the administrator reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sit back, relax. I have a long report this evening. First off, I'm going to ask that council approve the appointment of Robert, who goes by Bob Esper, to the Fair Housing Board and also to Records Commission to fill the vacancies left by Denny Johnson and Sandy Hall. I would like to thank Denny and Sandy for their years of service and expertise they provided to each of these committees. Mr. Esper will make a great addition to both of these committees. He's retired after a 38-year career with a global chemical company, has lived in North Ridgeville for the last 8 years. He's active in community volunteering his time at Community Care, St. Julie Billiard, and with the Ridgefield Homeowners Association. At this point, I would ask that you approve my appointment of Mr. Esper to the Fair Housing Board and Records Commission.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor, seconded by Booth, to add Robert Esper to the Fair Housing Board as well as the Records Committee. Clerk, please call roll.
Swain.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avens.
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Passes unanimously for Robert Espy,
Esper.
Esper.
Yes, P-E-R. Thank you. All right, moving on, we have Rita, the Regional Income Tax Agency has announced that the income tax filing deadline has been extended to May 17th, 2021 to coincide with state and federal filing deadlines. So you can hold off unless you owe money. If you owe money, that's unfortunate, but I'll take it anyway. There are some changes coming to the 440 area code. If you haven't heard, beginning April 24th, you're going to need to add 440 to any of your dialing. There's a whole long list of explanations as to why that is, but I'm just telling you it's going into effect, and I won't bore you with the rest of this. But it is changing because of a new 3-digit number that's going to be used nationwide to reach the National Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Crisis Lifeline starting in July. So they are starting the process April 24th. Go through all your contact lists and start adding 440 to every single one of those. And by the time you finish that, it'll be July. All right, Utilities Department will be closed April 13th from 10 a.m. to noon. That includes the drive-up window. They are going to attend software training. Please plan accordingly, and thank you for your understanding. By popular demand, our senior center will be hosting a drive-through spaghetti dinner on Friday, April 30th from 5 to 7 p.m. The cost is $6 per dinner and includes spaghetti and meatballs and garlic bread. If you'd like to purchase tickets for this event, stop by City Hall at the mayor's office. Cash or checks payable to the North Ridgeville Senior Center will be accepted. And thank you to the Rotary Club of North Ridgeville for sponsoring this event. Tickets did go on sale today, and there have been several purchased. We ask that everybody purchase those tickets in advance so we know how many meals to make. On tonight's agenda, there are several different ordinances that I'm asking for the emergency on, and I will go through each one of them. We'll have to suspend, in some cases, second and third readings, in others, just the third reading. But T49, the ordinance authorizing the city to participate in the ODOT salt contracts for 2021. There is a deadline to submit to ODOT that we'd like to have this passed by emergency this evening. T53 is an ordinance amending the service charges for burial and disinterment. A request was made for service that's not covered under the current ordinance for disinterment of cremains, which is the cremated remains. An emergency passage is necessary in order to honor the wishes of the family. They're asking to remove their loved one from our cemetery and move them over to a veterans memorial. I believe it's in Berea. And so we're trying to accommodate their wishes. It's not covered by ordinance, so we're looking to just move that forward quickly this evening. Under second readings, there is T38, the ordinance to apply to ODNR for funding of the NatureWorks grant program for a new playground at South Central Park. The emergency passage will give us sufficient time to make application before their deadline. T40 is the ordinance authorizing me to enter into a contract for the Mills Creek North Condo Water Main Rehabilitation Project. And that emergency passage will allow the engineering department to move forward with this project in a timely manner. T43 is an ordinance authorizing me to advertise for bids, enter into a contract for the rental of equipment and related services for road repair and maintenance. The asphalt plants are open, so we're looking to have that passed with emergency so we can use that equipment sooner rather than later. T44 is an ordinance authorizing me to advertise for bids and negotiate a 12-month contract for the purchase of roadway materials for the same reasons as the previous one. We're looking to move forward with street repairs and paving this month, so we're looking to have that passed with the emergency as well. And at this point, that concludes my report, except for asking for the executive session to take place during the recess portion of this meeting. That's a motion.
So I'll make a second.
It was moved by the mayor, seconded by Booth, to go to administrative executive session during the recess portion of this meeting.
And the reason for that, Mr. President, is to discuss the compensation of public employees.
On that motion, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Okay, the executive session will meet on break.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to Safety Service Director.
Yes, we were contacted today via email from Columbia Gas. That they're going to send a GPS team to Ridgeville. It's a very small area, but it's one that's very active around Aldi's and the Ridgewood Mobile Home Park. So they're going to be GPS in all those lines in that area. There must be several. And they're going to do a little bit of digging and then they'll restore it. But over the month of April, they'll be doing this. I would imagine they're going to be GPS in all the lines in the entire city as they move forward. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Safety Service Director. Mr. Engineer.
Thank you, Council President. Just one quick update. The city did receive bids for our catch basin project for 2021. We received one bid under estimate. We received two bids over estimate by more than 10%. All bids will be vetted and should everything be in order, the lowest bidder will be awarded the project. So that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer. Ms. Auditor.
Thank you, Council President. There are two pieces of legislation before council tonight that will be asking council to consider passing with the emergency clause. The first is T45, which is the establishment of the American Rescue Plan Fund. I'm asking that this be passed by emergency to allow us to establish the fund in advance of the resource received to ensure proper credit to the appropriate fund. The second is T46, which is a then and now resolution. These obligations are still outstanding, so I would ask for the emergency clause to allow us to get these vendors paid as soon as possible. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Auditor. Other reports, we have the February 2021 Police Department report. And that will bring us to new business. Clerk, could you read the new liquor permit request?
New liquor permit request, a request for new liquor permit for 8820 Bender Road LLC doing the DBA 8820 Event Center, 8820 Bender Road, North Ridgeville, Ohio, 44039.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Havens.
I just wanted to let the council know that the gentleman applying for this is the same gentleman a few years back. Did not want any commercial development within his neighborhood. He does live in this area as well.
Thank you, Mr. Havens.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Booth.
Just a note, in doing my due diligence on the new business, I could not find with the Secretary of State's office any DBA listing for 8820 Event Center. So again, that'll be left up to the state to determine that. But I searched the records a couple of times and could not find any DBA or fictitious name filed one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Booth. Are there any other comments or questions? At this time, I will entertain a motion to not request a hearing so that the permit can be sent to the state for final disposition.
Second. Oh, so moved. Sorry.
I'll second that.
It was moved by Winkle, seconded by Booth, to move forward without requesting a hearing so that the permit can be sent to the state. Any final comments or questions?
Mr. President?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Booth.
just to let residents know, just because we don't have a hearing here does not mean that the matter is not heard. The Ohio Department of Liquor Control will do their due diligence and make a determination upon their findings. So again, this just eliminates the need for the city here to have a hearing. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Booth. Any other final comments or questions? Okay, I'll move it to not request a hearing. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Okay, we're sending the hearing to the state for liquor review.
Very good. And that will bring us to the recess portion. At this time, we will adjourn and go into executive session. Are there any final comments or questions before we do? Hearing none, this stands in recess until further notice.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to add the emergency clause to T45 for the reasons stated. All in favor, say yes. Yes. All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to adopt T45 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any final comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance 5812, 2021.
T46.
T46, 2021, a resolution to authorize the execution of then and now certificates by the fiscal officer and the payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
make
Booth.
a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to dispense with the second and third readings. All in favor, say yes. All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I make a motion to add the emergency. These services have been completed and the bills need to be paid.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to add the emergency clause to T46. On the clause itself, all in favor, say yes. All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to adopt T46 with that emergency clause in place for the reasons stated earlier by the auditor. Are there any final comments or questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Swain,
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avon,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The resolution passes unanimously and becomes 15/17/2021.
T47.
T47/2021, an ordinance repealing North Ridgeville Codified Ordinance Section 1294.09, setback requirements for Center Ridge Road in its entirety.
T48.
T48/2021, an ordinance accepting the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, Energized Community Grant.
T49.
T49/2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio, to participate in the ODOT salt contracts awarded in 2021.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings for T49.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor, second by Booth, to dispense with the second and third readings for T49 for the reasons stated earlier in the mayor's report. All in favor, say yes. Yes. All opposed?
Mr. President, go ahead.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt.
Second.
President, I make a motion to add the emergency. There is a bid deadline to be met, and the emergency will allow us to do that.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to add the emergency clause to T49 to meet the deadline set by ODOT. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, second by Winkle, to adopt T49 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any final comments or questions at this time? Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avons,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 58/13/2021.
T50.
T50/2021. An ordinance amending ordinance number 5596/2018 and subsequent amendments thereto, which establish compensation and benefits afforded to department heads and certain discretionary employees.
T51.
T51/2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into a contract with an outside vendor according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for new flooring coating, including time, material, and labor for the service garage not to exceed $100,000.
T52.
T52/2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for the relocation and constitution of a landscape mound and all necessary appurtenances not to exceed $150,000.
I will refer that to the Finance Committee.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Just when that goes to committee to make you aware, there is a version of T52 that's in front of you. We're gonna have to add the third whereas clause into that ordinance when we discuss it at the committee level. It is actually the same phrasing that is in section 1 down below, but it should have been included in the whereas is up top as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
T53.
T53/2021, an ordinance amending North Ridgeville Ordinance 1062.08B-D, service charges for burial and disinterment charges.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
I make a motion to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Swank, to dispense with the second and third readings for T53. All in favor, say yes. Yes. All opposed?
Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I make a motion to add the emergency. We currently don't have an ordinance within our ordinances that deals with the situation, and we need to do so to accommodate a resident. So this emergency will allow us to do that expeditiously.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated to T53. On that emergency clause itself, all in favor say yes. All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to adopt T53 with that emergency clause in place. Any comments or questions? Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 58-14-2021.
T54.
T54-2021, an ordinance amending ordinance 5684-2019 and subsequent amendments thereto, which establish compensation and benefits afforded to the treasurer.
T55.
T55, an ordinance amending ordinance 5485-2017 and subsequent amendments thereto, which establish compensation and benefits afforded to Parks and Recreation Director.
T56.
T56-2021, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5477-2017 and subsequent amendments thereto, which establish compensation and benefits afforded to the city engineer.
That'll bring us to second readings. T38.
T38-2021, a resolution authorizing the mayor to apply to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for funding under the Nature Works Grant Program.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with the third reading.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Swank to dispense with the third reading for T38. All in favor say yes. All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency. There is an application deadline with ODNR, and the emergency will allow us to meet that deadline.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Swank to add the emergency clause for T38 to meet that deadline. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Swank to adopt T38 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Molesky,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes 15-18-2021.
T39.
T39-2021, an ordinance amending certain sections of the NRCO Chapter 1228 improvements.
T40.
T40-2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for the Mills Creek North Condo water main rehabilitation, including appurtenances not to exceed $650,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to suspend the third reading.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to suspend the third reading. All in favor say yes. All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency. These repairs are necessary for the health, safety, and welfare of our community.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to add the emergency clause to T40 for the reasons just stated. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to adopt T40 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes 58-15-2021.
T43.
T43-2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to advertise for bids and negotiate a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for the rental of equipment and related services for road repair and maintenance to be used by the service department.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to dispense with the third reading.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to dispense with the third reading. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency, the equipment and services for road repair are of vital interest to the community, and it is for the health, safety, and welfare of our residents.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to T43 for the reasons just stated. All in favor, say yes. All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Winkle to adopt T43 with that emergency clause in place. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance 58-16-2021.
T44.
T44-2021, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio to advertise for bids and negotiate a contract for a 12-month period according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for the purchase of roadway materials to be used by the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
I make a motion to dispense with the third reading.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to dispense with the third reading for T44. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
Mr. President, make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency, just as the equipment identified in T43, the materials in T44 are imperative to our community and goes to the health, safety, and welfare of our residents.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to add the emergency clause to T44. On the emergency clause itself, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? It was then moved by Booth, seconded by Molesky to adopt T44 with that emergency clause. Are there any comments at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Oleski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance 58-17-2021.
On to third readings. T27.
T27-2021, a resolution to approve with modification the application made by James W. and Loretta A. King regarding certain land owned by them which has been designated as an agricultural district by the Office of the County Auditor.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Avens.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Avens, seconded by Molesky to adopt T27. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swain,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Laban,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Walewski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The resolution passes unanimously and becomes 15-19-2021.
T30.
T30, 2021, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5267, 2015 regarding the city's investment policy.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Havens.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was,
Mr. President,
yes, Mr. Booth.
just as a reminder, I will be abstaining from this vote to avoid any potential conflict of interest.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Booth. It was moved by Aben, second by Molesky to adopt T30. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Abstain.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkel,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Walewski,
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
The motion carries with 6 yes and 1 abstention and becomes 58-18-2021.
Council President,
Yes.
the numbers are off just a little bit. That T30 should be 5819.
Thank you. Okay, the next city council meeting will be on Monday, April the 19th, 2021 at 7 PM right here at City Council Chambers. Are there any final comments or questions? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.